Hey everybody, welcome to Breaking the Cage. This is for January 14th through the 20th. This next 2 weeks, it's always powerful, man. It's always powerful energy. Lately anymore, that's all I really could say. I don't know how else to put it. You see, even I'm holding my selenite wands in my hand to make sure that all the energy that's coming through me right now is, just flat out streaming positive energy, so that I could get out everything that I'm being given to say. Never, ever underestimate the power. The power of yourself, the power of manifestation, the power of prayer, the power of your belief system. This is ultimately soul on assembly. And everything that is happening in your individual life and on the planet and around you is a mirroring effect. You just had the new moon in Capricorn. And I was saying, it was going over Pholos. It was coming through Mercury and Mars. It went over the sun. It went over Pluto. Pluto is soon to be coming back into Aquarius. We are looking at a new world. And what world are you creating? Never underestimate the power of everything that is you, for the good and for the bad. Because Spirit is saying a lot of this next, really, truly, a lot of the next month, but we're feeling it, especially in this next week, it's a build up to the following week's full moon in Leo. It's a lot of spiritual vertigo. It's a lot of really, truly, what is your chakra balance? I mean, are you in balance? Do you really, truly know, understand, and feel what balance is? Is there a lot of blockages? It's when we look at the power of everything that is soul, everything that is connected to ego, everything that we can think into reality. Are we thinking in creating self-sabotage and self-destruction? Or are we thinking in the world we want to create? Are we thinking it into breathing it into reality? And just how much power and control do you have? I mean, mindfully, we know that we create our own reality. Okay, we're aware of that, but the awareness and the consciousness of what that truly means deep down deep, a lot of us still aren't fully getting it. We aren't fully getting the timeline situation. We're not fully understanding how to be comfortable in our own skin. We're, questioning ourselves. How well do you know yourself? Truly. How secure or insecure are you? That has a lot to do with your balancing of your chakras. And I've said a million times, this is no longer suffice for you to only be wasting your time working on the top 7 chakras, because your lower chakras of lower consciousness are what's feeding up into the foundation. We've been hearing about the age of Aquarius. You still have so much negative funk. We want to understand the power of ourself, the authenticity of ourself, the soul spark of ourself. But we still have so much about ourselves that we don't comprehend or understand, that we're in question or doubt about. We have thoughts that we aren't controlling. We have thoughts that create self-sabotage. We have, ideas where we're not giving ourselves the most healthiest medicine. So how balanced and how high vibrational are you? You keep hearing about all of the things that are going on with creating our reality. Yet we have so much conspiracy theory about everything that's evil and everything that's awful. About, I mean, how much can you really create your own reality? How much in power are you of creating your own reality when we look at all that's bad for us? We start looking around your food. Everything is contaminated, meant to kill you. Your water, your deodorant, your soap, your fluoride, your toothpaste, your medicine. I mean, what's left? That is the powerful key there. When everything outside of you that you are learning about is meant to destroy you, what is your only, and I mean your only, soulful option is to get as high vibrational as you can. And the body is not capable as being high vibrational as you would like it to be. I don't care what person out there tells you any different, because we are still learning to break and get rid of our bad habits so we can become that high vibrational. It starts with your mind. It starts with the taking away the hive mind mentality, taking back control, and realizing where we create our own self-sabotage, where we're putting ourselves on the timelines. You can't eat anything out there. I mean, truthfully, they're getting to where it's, I mean, even if you owned a farm, planting the seeds could be contaminated. So what are we going to do to take care of ourselves, to lift ourselves into the highest of vibrational? You can't look outside of you. You have to bless your food. You have to put the vibration into it. You have to step into the timeline of, this is no longer going to harm me and affect me. I am above this in vibration. I said when this year began that there is always those things that we are hearing about that are low vibrational, conspiracy theorists, stuff that you really never hear me talk about. And the reason why is you don't need me to talk about it. You hear about it everywhere else. My job is to stand in between what we hear, what we learn, what we come to know has been done to us, and stand in between that truth and still making sure soulfully we are not creating sabotage and self-destruction. We are on soul assembly. What timeline are you assembling? What vibration are you assembling? What is capable of touching you? Because of the frequencies that you are on. This is where we are really looking. So many people do not understand how quickly we are changing realities within our moment-to-moment activity, within our mind stem cells talking to each other. We are the power, but we also are the power that can be self-destruction. And we have to make sure that we're aware so that we are creating the most highest vibrational world that we want to be in. We're going to have a lot of self-criticism come in over the week. Self-improvement because of us seeing our positives and our negatives. A lot of self-reflection, a lot of mirroring from that outer world. You still are on that new moon cycle, even though we're coming into a full moon in Leo next week. And that's speaking about your actual ability to create. The fifth house, Leo, on a universal standpoint, is your creativity. What do you breathe life into? Are you getting to feel good about the life you're breathing it into? The energy that you are creating. your fun zone? Is there any? Are you enjoying this life? Or are you struggling and having to fight for every single bit of it? What are your belief systems? On the smallest little minute nothing. This is what I'm talking about. From the smallest little bit of belief to what you absolutely have to have your heart and soul and believe wholeheartedly with eyes closed. I have faith. We are in a very powerful time, but you have to understand this time. You have the moon this week that is going to be moving through Pisces. Pisces is a very magical space, but it's also a very big space of misfortune, mischief, a lot of mischief. This is the place where, you bring the stray dog home. But we're also looking at it going over Nessus, the curse. Neptune just came back online. The moon's going to travel over Saturn before all of that. This is asking you, truly, where are your boundaries? Where is your dignity? Where is your healing? Then it goes into Aries throughout the week as it goes over the North Node and Chiron, the wounded healer. Where is your identity? Who are you? Who's the character person of this story? Do you identify? Or are you finding out you're still in hive mind mentality and no, I don't really identify. So I got to do the healing, start a new cycle. But Aries is also me first energy. It's I want what I want and I want it right now. And then we're going into Taurus at the end of the week, which is truly asking you, have you come into your dignity? Have you come into the power of yourself or not? With Jupiter here and Uranus. Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, the highest level of coming into source self, or the force of I need to pretend that I'm in it. And I'll do anything I can to make sure that I can talk myself into believing it. This is why I was saying Spirit is giving me a lot of spiritual vertigo, especially over the next 2 weeks as we come into that full moon in Leo. You're creating of your reality, what you're truly breathing into life. What we're seeing on the outside of us is nothing more than the healing that's going on inside of us, or the lack of it. Spiritual vertigo, and the reason I say it that way is sometimes you don't know what's up from what's down. Because literally how I knew it was spiritual vertigo is because they threw me into, like when you're surfing and you're in the wave and you get caught, instead of being in the wave, you're underwater where it's the rumbles. I don't know what that's called. I'm not a surfer. But where you're in that and you can't tell in the tossing of that water if you go up or down. And it's water, so it's emotional power. Are you in control of your inner chaos, or is it in control of you? Because if it's in control of you, you can kiss your inner personal power and harnessing it goodbye, because you haven't learned how yet. Not that we want you to kiss it goodbye. It's just you haven't learned to stay in your own. You are as of above and so below. You are positive. You are negative. You are the power of everything. But you must harness that truth of what you're looking at. You have some positive energies this week. I'm not going into the blueprint because mainly your main hitters are all in the lower consciousness, from the hips and the thighs down, which is literally talking about us bringing healing to our denial, bringing healing to our inner jealousies, our inferiorities, our inner lack of having that faith in the power of what you are. This isn't about being human. This isn't about being alien. This isn't about being hybrid. This is about taking the power back and being in control of who you are, not the reality of realities of realities of the whole fucking planet. No. But being able to be at peace, which is where you create your power. To not be shaken. It's in Hinduism, it's Anahata, which is the heart chakra in Hinduism. And its name, Anahata, literally means unshaken, unbroken. Soul assembly, we're putting ourselves back together by seeing where our vibration truly is. And where we've created our worlds outside of us, what timelines we're choosing to settle in, and just how much work we still need to do. You do have some very positive energies this week. But like I was saying, the blueprint is telling you right from the beginning, in the lower levels of consciousness, we're looking at all of the ego, malice, jealousy, fear, insecurity, promiscuity, inadequacy, being in I want what I want and I want it right now, me first energy. I will take it because it's mine and nobody can tell me no different. These are what sifts into the upper chakras, upper 7 chakras. And this is the lowest levels of our consciousness, where we have no conscience, where we've still accepted the low vibration is part of us because it's being comfortable in your uncomfortability. We're rising above that. We have to love ourselves all the way through, thick and thin. We have to bring that healing and start a new foundation. Then we create a healthy foundation that's unshakable, unbreakable. This week you have Mars and Mercury, because Mercury is coming closer to Mars all week. Starting in Capricorn, as it's right here in the beginning of Capricorn, it's going to come right up on Mars. So that's bringing your communication to you in that 10th house of that outer world, your outer reputation, prestige, outer responsibility, outer authority, outer political arena. Mars the warrior, communication, trying to force what it wants from that outer authority or take it. And it is very positively, this is all positive energy, but what you do with it is what's important, because the positive energy can be made negative if you're negative. So it's making sure we understand how to keep it positive and make it work for us. That energy is speaking to Jupiter, making us stand in our authority, in our power, in our manifestation. But it's all depending on your self-worth. Your self-worth is self-value, your self-esteem, because that's where the manifestation comes. Are you believing in yourself or are you doubting yourself? Like I said, a lot of security or insecurity, in doubt this week. Not necessarily sure if spiritual vertigo up or down. Or is the water, which way are you turning in these waves? This is a lot of really go inward. Speaking then to Lilith about your daily activities, your daily fire. Are you on a daily basis enjoying your life? Or do you have so many responsibilities that you don't have any time to enjoy what you want to enjoy? I saw a meme the other day and it said, this is everything that I have to do every day. These are the things I would like to. Let's start crossing off the things I have to do and start building the ones I want to do. It's only important because you made it important. This whole 3D reality is important because that's what you believed in. Lilith is your daily energy diet right now in Virgo. Very grounded earth energy. Right now, you're having a lot of grounded earth energy, and what are you putting that grounded earth energy into? Supporting, building, strengthening. This is the time to make sure you're seeing if you're creating a parasitic life or not. And then it goes right back over to Mercury and Mars in the outer world. There's so much out there to make you question and doubt yourself, and right down to food, drink, washing your clothes, washing your hair, having deodorant, what's going on with the rain, da 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 da. Are you going to allow self-sabotage? Or are you going to reclaim? I stand in this higher power. I am this higher power. I create my reality and what is able to actually touch me. Which is a very positive energy of taking power back if you're in the power of believing in yourself, of self-righteousness in a healthy way, earning your patents of nobility, high vibrational, not I'm going to force it, but I am. Then you have Venus and Ceres speaking with Chiron and the North Node. This is your 9th house of sensitivity about what your belief system is, your morals, your ethics, your spiritual beliefs, what you're breathing into, what the belief system is, positive or negative. Ceres with Venus is speaking to you about where you're nurturing or neglecting what's the best thing for you. And then it is speaking directly with Chiron and the North Node, your character. Learning how to embrace your inner flame, your power. What can't be taken from you unless you misplaced it. And then it's reclaiming it. Breathing in anew. Beginning of the cycle. It's good to be selfish enough to love oneself. There's a difference between loving oneself and a narcissistic energy. But this is truly about honoring whatever the energy is and knowing it is nothing more than energy. So what will you do with it? Or will you rise above it and not do anything with it and be in a whole nother bracket, dimensional energy, so to speak, timeline, so to speak? It's time you guys start really getting what this is. You have Venus and Ceres also getting along great with that South Node in Libra. This is about creating harmony and balance within the relationships by nurturing what is truly needed or showing you what's in neglect. It's showing you who you have chosen to be part of your life. Who are these members in your life, along with the relationship you have with yourself? Is it being nurtured properly or neglected? Truly showing justice. The sun and Pluto, because the sun's coming closer to Pluto. Pluto is about to move into Aquarius. Pluto is on its last legs of what the hell have I been trying to teach you since I've been here for like, what, 20-some years, 30 years? About the outer world. The only reason that outer world has authority is because you placed it there in your timeline. There is nothing going on here other than your own mirroring reflection and your belief system. What will you allow to continue? Illuminating, possessing the power and the control of yourself into your highest levels of authority. Pluto is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration, guys. In that outer world, illuminating its truth for wherever it is on your journey. And it is speaking directly with Neptune, creating the healing that is needed, or falsifying the lie that is needed. Either way, the opportunity is there. What will you do with it? You have Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury and Mars in sextiling. Abundance of the self, setting the healing that we need to come forward, to be shown, and then going over to our communication and our power, standing in our power and making it happen in that outer world. Or do you believe in the outer world, projecting what will happen for you? That's been there for months, other than Mars and Mercury. This is all about, do you know up from down? Do you know who yourself is? Are you going to continue to create a parasitic universe? Are you going to see where you're in your own damaged energies? Bring healing to it, bring knowledge to it, bring acceptance to it, and heal that bitch back to right. Unconditional love goes through all spectrums of light. And sometimes you've got to go all the way back to the dark, to the void, in order to find the light. The biggest challenges you have is a major T square that is taking place this week. It's a little off, but it's more or less. You have Chiron, Chiron and that North Node in Aries, the wounded healer, doing great at seeing it outside of themselves, not so great at themselves, and identifying with where they have had their own self-sabotage instead of new healing, new cycles. It is speaking with that 7th house, the South Node, everything you're good at, but it doesn't serve you anymore, for keeping harmony and balance in relationships where they're not meant to be, by showing we actually have to shift things, rules, walls, boundaries, whatever. You don't want to create false harmony or believe in false harmony. And then it is going over to that Sun and Pluto. This goes right back to, you are in charge. But are you mindfully, consciously aware of your feelings, your thoughts, your actions? Like I said, all too often, we don't understand ourselves. And all too often, we don't know why we are doing the things we are doing. That actually creates such low vibrational energy. And that all is coming back to, why do you believe what you believe? Why do you believe anything outside of you can have anything to do with the inside of you, other than you projected it to teach you? Then we have Pluto and Jupiter are not getting along. Coming into that authority power of yourself, coming into the higher understanding of yourself. Jupiter is a magnet. It's standing in self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. It's standing in your manifestation house. It's standing in your self-worth, self-value. It's standing in how well do you know yourself? And then it's questioning, what you are creating in that Pluto sun illumination. All of us have things we have to get better at. All of us have some healing and being better vibrationally. Your own soul assembly, guys. And they're counting on you, holding on to that hive mind mentality. You have Venus in Ceres, nurturing or neglecting your highest spiritual truths, coming into loving yourself right, or keeping the same belief system because it's what's comfortable and what you know, and the ethics and morals that you'll stick with, versus truly ascending and growing, getting into your true galactic center, so to speak. And it's not getting along with Neptune. Fantasy versus harsh ass reality. That's why it's the major magic power. Fantasy versus harsh ass reality. What are you breathing into your reality? And lastly, but definitely not least, Saturn in the 12th house, universally fighting with Lilith in the 6th. Your daily routines, your daily energy diet, your daily mundane tasks from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, the people, places, and things that are part of that energy diet. What do you do on a daily basis? So mundane that you think it's not important, because it's the most important. Where are you overlooking its power? Everything has to do with, are you truly seeing the power? And what are you giving the power to? I love you guys. I will see you next week. Bye.